Okay, it's Saturday. Let's turn epidemic down just a little bit. Okay, so we're simulcasting here Saturday morning at 11:51 a.m. and President Biden is speaking at his campaign headquarters, which means a closet with a background. Yeah, it's in the garage next to his Corvette or whatever kind of car he has. It's a delayed broadcast, thank God. Very delayed. I think he's very delayed. I don't know. Maybe he had a really, really, really strong facelift and it's pulled his face back to where his eyes, look like mice eyes. I mean, his eyes are like, pulled back like, I don't know. I think that's what they did. I haven't heard about it, but well, on that happy note, let's just say good morning. Hello. Went to Flakowitz this morning and had country fried steak with sausage gravy and a mountain of French fries. And what happened? I'll show you what happened. My blood sugar went up to 1,000,000. Look at that blood sugar. Oh, I remember it went up to 207. Let's see what time that was. My finger's so fat. There it is. 9, 10, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Looks like 11. It's right on the line. So we had them at 9:45, 9:30, 10, 11. About an hour and 20 minutes. I was going to come back and have some insulin, but I didn't need it because by the time I got back here, my blood sugar's at 143. Well, once it gets over 200, I don't really need to take the jab, as they say. Give him a jab. No, I don't need a jab. Because I have Ozempic working for me. Magical. I have a little tiny bit of Dr. Brown black cherry in here. Not diet, so that's like pure sugar. Oh, so good. So I probably see my blood sugar go back up. That's okay. Can't do everything. No, that's not my. Here, I got a picture of it right here. With fried eggs, break the yolk, flip it over. I mean, eggs, it just doesn't make a good picture. No matter how you rotate it, it just still looks terrible. There's the country fried steak. There's the gravy. I mean, it looks like wallpaper paste, quite frankly. Except it's got these little lumps in it. That wouldn't be good. It's terrible. But I did get a takeout, a full sandwich of, what do you call it? Hot pastrami. It is it's so good. I should take it out of the refrigerator because I want it not cold. Hot pastrami is so good. Just sort of my good. Marilyn had a BLT. Look how yummy that looks. I'm taking. Just breaks off. It's so good. On rye bread with iceberg lettuce, fresh tomato. These guys know how to do it. They got the fresh veggies. Oh, God. Look at that. On air, 11:56 a.m. I got my morning lights on. There we go. We can probably turn off these things. Let's try to do. There's like a ring light around the camera lens, which is. Let's turn this one on. There we go. That's the camera that's on. Let's turn it. There we go. And we got a little warmer tone. I think we should do it on that one. There we go. Robin visited us last weekend. We're still recovering. But she got me these glasses. If you can see on the top, it says port and starboard. In case you don't know what port is and what starboard is, I got it on my glasses. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, and port and starboard. In case you get confused, port is on the left. They're both four-letter words. Okay? It's that simple. And the other word is starboard, which is on the right side. I don't know why they want to call it starboard, but it probably has something to do with the French Revolution or something. You know? Look at that BLT. Oh my God. Ooh, it's so good. Yeah, that's what Marilyn had. She opened up her big choppers and went right down. That iceberg lettuce was so crispy. Hey, I mean, a BLT, you gotta have fresh tomatoes, you gotta have fresh lettuce, and you have to have freshly made bacon and this unbelievable rye bread. Oh, it is so good. I did a little research on the testicle Tesla. And they've been coming down in price, which is a good thing. Now, this is the long-range battery. Does it show what the mileage is? It's supposedly 340 miles, which is not enough because by the time you drive it for a year, 340 comes down to 310. You got to take 10% away because they don't want you to charge it past, whatever percent. I'm plugged in right now, by the way, and it. Let's see if we can log into the car. Push this button right here. So now we are logging into my car. How cute is that? Let's do this again. And we'll swap it. So you can see a big one of it. There it is, you see? 80% recommended for daily driving. Well, we don't charge it every day. We charge it like once or twice a week. So I go to 95%. What the hell? Got this goddamn battery. And if you can't use it. Now they'll let you charge it at 100%. But it has something to do with battery health. So fine, I won't use the top 5%. It's charging at the rate you can't reverse pinch it, so you're just gonna have to look carefully. It's gonna stop charging at 95%, which is all the way up to here. It was down to like 15% when we brought it in this morning, coming back from Pliglitz. It's charging at the rate of 25 miles an hour. That's a 6 kilowatt charge rate. 32 amps, see that? 200 volts. And so far it's put in 23 miles because the car has only been plugged in for 55 minutes. And up here it says 7 hours and 25 minutes remaining to charge at the limit that I've set it at, which is 95%. I can change it here. I just slide this little white slider. Let's slide it, you see? Whoop, charge to 70%, see that? 77, 80. I can change it right here. Whoop, there it is, 90. And there's 92, 3, 4, 5. Let's just stop at 90. Whoops, 95. They'll let you charge to 100. But, whoop, there's 100. Yeah. We're not going to go to 100. We're just going to go to 95. There it is, 95. To go to 100%, it's 8 hours and 25 minutes. That last 5%, that takes an hour. Because the batteries are warm and you don't want to overheat the batteries or whatever. There's a lot of circuitry. There's like, I can't remember what battery's in here. I think it's the 2170s, which means 21 milliliters in diameter and 70 inches tall. So the 2170 cells, I have about 5,000 cells in my battery pack. They're divided up into 14 separate little sub-packs, which produce 25 volts and, 25 amps. Something like that. So you multiply 14 times 25, and you get up to about 350. Let's do it on the calculator. So I don't want to mislead anybody. But I do remember that, it's like, let's just say 5,200 cells. So we're going to divide that by 14. There's 126 cells in the sub-pack. And it's going to produce 25 volts. Now let's clear that, 25 times 14. There you go, 350. I knew it. So the battery runs to the 350 direct voltage. Now, at one point in time, Tesla, could be now, their version 3 or version 4 charger, you plug it in, and see, this is feeding AC current, 230 volts at 16 amps, or 32 amps. You see now it controls the voltage. The charging network controls the voltage. So it's dropped it from 230 to 199. It's got the full amperage, and that produces about 6 kilowatts of energy going in there, which is roughly 25 miles per hour charging rate. You see down here in the very bottom, 32. I can change that. And of course that'll change this whole situation on. So we've now got 86 miles worth of range that exists in that battery. We drove in with about 50 miles of range, so it's added around 30, round numbers. Anyway, so we can just park that up there, go back to Tesla. So this morning, you see that, February 3rd at 9:16 this morning, Marilyn had a fast thing to do at the bank. So I stayed here and did a little homework on the Tesla. We have to turn our car in June 10th. It's February, March, April, May. I got 4 months worth of diddle-daddle, and then I got to turn the car in. So I got 4 months and counting. I think when you get to 3 months and counting, when you get to 90 days, I think they give you some alternatives. Do you want to order another car? And that way you go from one car to the next. with the same kind of features, and pick it out. So this is how I picked it out. $53,000 car today. Hopefully it's like $49,000 car when we get to June. That'd be nice if it dropped another $3,000. As they get experience manufacturing this puppy, and they've made about 1 million of them, so they're starting to get the grips on it, and they're starting to substantiate their supply line, because when you got a car coming off the out the front door at the rate of about one car every 45 seconds, the supply line is a huge, important characteristic. Everyone looks at the factory, and everyone looks at the final product. But, before you can have that nice steak dinner, you got to have you got to buy the veggies, you got to chop them up, you got to saute them, you got to bake them, you got to get the potato, then you got to wash it, and then you got to bake the potato 45 minutes. So, you got 4 or 5 things all coming into the supply line, and the last thing is that piece of meat. You got to get it on the supply line, but that's the last thing to cook. And if you have a 1700 degree oven, you slide that sucker in there for about 50 seconds, and you pull it out. If you go 55 seconds, it's medium well. So you got to pull that sucker out in 50 seconds, and it'll be perfect 130 degree medium rare if you pull that sucker out in 50 seconds. Not 48, not 52, 50 seconds, that buzzer goes. Someone's got to be there to pull the drawer, turn that sucker off. It's amazing. It chops. They have that 1700 degree crematorium, which they pull the meat out before it turns to ash. Anyway, so this $52,000 car has a federal tax credit of $7,500. In 6 years, you save $7,200 worth of gasoline. The price after savings comes down to $38,300. But to get to that $38,300, you got to pay $840 a month for 72 months. Or 84 months. I didn't think that's a purchase, 84 months. They don't have an 84 months lease. They got what's this? I did several versions of this guy. Saved it. This is it. So now this I can reverse pinch. There we go, right there. So I start out with the long-range design, not the performance version. I want the 19-inch wheels, the 19-inch Gemini wheels. And I've got a little one over here in the top left corner. The ultra red paint, $2,000. Black and white premium interior, $1,000. 5-seat interior, no extra charge. Autopilot, no extra charge. That's not full self-driving. That's like cruise control, a little advanced cruise control. Or maybe it's not so advanced anymore because everyone's got it. The tow hitch, $1,000. 30-day premium connectivity trial included. And after a month or two, you got to start paying $10 a month, so it's not expensive. Goes right off the internet. They've already got the cellular system built into the car because they control the car. You don't make a payment, they can turn the car off from Fremont, California. They just turn the switch and say, pay or else you won't be able to drive the car. And they need it. because they just turn the switch. And guess what? Your key doesn't work. Your key is your phone. It's all electronic. So they just send a signal and you're done. Payment goes through. They flip the switch again. And you're on. Price after estimated savings. So it's $52.09. You're going to save $36. You're going to save $1,200 a year because you don't buy gas. So $52.09 becomes $49.04. Anyway, on a 3-year lease with $250 down, which is nothing. 626 month lease. I'm paying $600 now, so round numbers. So this is $25 more. Brand new car. All the same thing, except I got $3,000 worth of extras, which I don't have. I got black paint, which was no charge, extra charge. Whereas here I got ultra red, cost you an extra $1,000, and I got the white interior, an extra $1,000. So I got $3,000 worth of extras in here, and boom, boom, the lease is $626 at today's money rate, which that's not too bad. And Daniel is the sales manager at Lexus, which they sell, $50,000, $60,000 cars also, and their lease is like $750, for a $55,000 car. We got a $53,000 car here, with a few goodies. And I'll have to ask him, what's a $53,000 car? See, their residuals are lower. They're like 51%. These cars are like 56%, 57%. They really should be 70% because they really hold their value. At the end of 3 years, what's the car worth? That's the money factor. That's the depreciation. So if you got a $50,000 car and you're a 50% residual, that means it's worth $25,000 at the end of 3 years. This is a $53,000 car, and it's probably worth $40,000. So you divide 40 by 52.3 and you get the residual rate. You do the money rate, you divide it by 36, and that's it. That's that piece of your payment. And the next thing is, what's the depreciation? Well, the depreciation is the opposite of the residual, because the residual is telling you what it's worth at the end of 3 years. Well, if you take that number and subtract it from your original price, let's say that's $16,000. Well, you divide 16 by 36, and that gives you your how much depreciation you got a month. You got the monthly cost on your money, and then you got the monthly depreciation, and together, that is your lease payment. Just two, and sales tax. Those are 3 pieces of your traditional. Sorry, that's a little Dr. Brown's black cherry. The tail end of it. So I took a little sip. Let me have another little sip. See here, JM Family Enterprises. Son Daniel gave me that book. It's, stainless steel vacuum insulated, no perspiration. And a little smudge on there. Anyway, so I'm just doing a little Tesla research, see what happens. You know, about mid-March is the interesting time because we got to see what the car is worth, what the new ones are worth. Someone bumped into me on the side, on the driver's side door, so it's got a depression in it, which I either fix it up now or turn it in with that depression. And they, you know, we'll get whacked for a repair bill on that. I'd rather do it myself or, you know, have someone do it before Tesla scalps me on that. It'll probably cost a couple $1,000. Where Bobby, you know, Bobby's shop, I'll do it for $400. There you go. There's Taylor Swift. She has a concert in Tokyo the day before the Super Bowl. But see, that's Tokyo's like a day ahead of us. So a day before is like the day of. So she's got to, you know, she's on a concert. And then can she fly back fast enough to get to the Super Bowl? It's a 14-hour flight. I mean, it's like, really? You're going to walk in at halftime. Now, which she's got her own jet, so she doesn't have to worry about connecting with American Airlines or something, or whatever flies to Tokyo. She's got her own 737, 757. She carries her whole staff in there. I'll tell you what, I've listened to like her first album in 1999, I think it is. It's pretty good. The music, you know, I don't know who writes the music, you know, whether she does the lyrics or someone else does. Look at this. Tim Cook is going all in on the Apple Vision Pro. He's got his goggles on. They're all set for him. Little final adjustments to it. He's got pictures on the floor. Come on, baby. He just moved into his new office, apparently. Looks like he's got a high-top desk, which you can either sit at a stool or you can stand up right to it. He's got what do you call it? A MacBook sitting there. He's got a Mac because he's got that 23-inch screen. Looks pretty clean design. Not a shred of paper anywhere. There's his desk with the whatever the hell kind of chair that is. Looks kind of weird. The chair goes in it and it's got an arm. You see the arm goes in and out. And you got this big sweeping, I don't understand that. Not really a big fan of that. Anyway, he's got this one picture of Kennedy, young, very young Kennedy. And then he's got 4 other pictures that he can't figure out how to hang those yet. He's probably got an office in 6 different cities. You know, either in the back of the showroom, above the showroom, you know, in one of the factories. Easy, fast, get in, get out. So this here, whoops, touch that. There we go. A federal judge supervising the case against former President Donald Trump has postponed everything. So everything's on delay because there's a lot of, things going back and forth. And it's going to the Supreme Court for appeal anyway. So the question is, are they going to try to pull this trial up before the actual election day? They can't do it 3 months before election day. I mean, that's like crazy. That totally would be not fair. Poor guy wouldn't be able to, have his campaign. You got to be at a campaign to campaign. And that's the whole thing. These are all political trials because this guy did the same thing this guy did. And he was like vice president. And he doesn't have the right to take shit home. Pardon me. As a vice president. He's not allowed to take things out of the skiff. The secure room that you look at things, and he walks out, he stuffs it in his shirt. Yeah, he's not supposed to have it. Top secret stuff. We saw it folded up in his garage next to his Corvette. He says, "Well, I got the garage door down." That makes it really secure. A 10-year-old can pull the garage open. And the guy's like, "Oh, sure, you got the car locked." It's out of sight, but it's not locked up as, a figure of speech. Anyway, so that's what's going on with the Trumper. He's got 2 or 3 trials. One of the trials that he's got going in Georgia, the prosecuting attorney is sleeping with the which is like crazy. So they cooked up this thing, and then they got it to, when they're cooking it, they're sleeping with each other. They're cruising around on expensive cruises. She hires him for $1 million, and then he kicks back some money. So, in a sense, because he buys her a ticket, on a $25,000 cruise. And then there's $25,000 worth of stuff you spend in the cruise. And then there's airfare, So they spent like $350,000 on each other while they're cooking up a case against Trump. Yeah, I mean, that's disgusting. If you don't like the guy, fine, don't vote for him. Get on television and say, I don't like him. I don't particularly like him either. But I don't have to have him over for dinner. I want him to kick ass in the government, and that he can do. I don't have to have him in my house. So that's the difference. That's what everyone needs to understand. You don't have to like him. You just have to like him in his job. Because he'll have people in government where he's going to kick ass, rip out the swamp by their little short hairs, and throw them out the front door or the back door. Yep, there's the 2. Fannie Willis. That's supposed to be Fannie, not Fannie. She admits to a relationship with the prosecutor. Is sleeping, and the guy's like a family law attorney. He don't know how to prosecute anything. But you get enough political, behind you. Anyway, so this girl is up in the corner here. Let me click this little button right here and make it, oops. I'm trying to be a good, there we go. See now in the very up corner right here, you can see Fannie. and she's on the hot seat right now. She admits to the relationship. Well, you know, they got videos of them, for God's sakes. Because you walk in and out of government buildings, there are videos. And they're holding hands and they're holding whatever hangs out, you know. I mean, come on. So that case may get tossed out the window. Yeah, she has to get off the case because she can't run the case because she's sleeping with the prosecutor. And he doesn't know how to do it. Look at her. She's got all the fancy photographs. If you can look up in that corner there. This is like a delayed thing here, you know. Crazy. So, Tim Cook is really pressing these goggles. I don't think it's gonna. $3,500, really? You're gonna spend $3,500 on these goggles? That's a lot of money. I mean, that's like two laptops. And this is just so you can visualize your icons floating around in front of you. And then you can touch it, and it will execute something. But you got a cord, you got a battery. See, he's got the goggles on, but he don't have the cord and the battery. So he ain't doing squat with that because there ain't no power. But on either one side or the other, you have a cord that runs down to a battery, which you could slip in your pocket. But you'd have a white wire running down into your pocket. I don't see any white wires. So this is, you know, advertising. Nice guy. But there's no wire and there's no battery. Therefore, there's no power. Therefore, you don't see anything through those goggles. They are kind of like a little trans, so you can kind of see something in front of you, but not much. And in the dim light of this room, which they don't have the pictures up yet, but I mean they're in that much of a hurry they can't hang the freaking pictures. All right, in Puxahany at 7:24 a.m. You know, like on Tuesday, I think it is. What's the groundhog, which you can see there in living color. Look at that guy. He's about as attractive as that guy. This guy cut his whiskers and that guy didn't. He's looking around. He said, oh, geez, there are 50,000 people in front of him. 50,000 this year. They all got up at whatever, so they could stand there at 7 o'clock. I think they woke this guy out of his bed at 7:05, and then he has to hang around for 20 minutes while he sits on his log. And if you see his shadow, meaning there's a little bit of sun in the sunrise at 7:24 a.m. on Tuesday, then that means either summer comes quicker or spring comes quicker, or spring you have another 2 months of winter. You saw a shadow, so that's what that's all about. I think since you saw his shadow, you know, you got lighting. I don't think that's sunlight. I think that's... So they have to figure out how to block out. They haven't figured out, so they block out the ambient lighting so they can see what happens with the groundhog with the sun. And that was the big excitement on Tuesday morning. Didn't do much for me, but That's what that's about. And she's in Tokyo. May your hands always be busy. May your feet always be swift. May you have a strong foundation when the winds of change shift. May your heart always be joyful. And may your song always be sung. May you say, forever young. And that's Bob Dylan. Happy Saturday. We're not going anywhere yet. Okay. This is... Whoops, I don't want to do that. This is the back end of my ice maker. It's a Magic Chef model MCI M22B. That's the model number. And it was manufactured in March of 2022. It weighs 17 pounds. It does. It's a heavy little sucker. It sits on my countertop. It makes ice at the rate of whatever, every 24 hours. 10 pounds every 24 hours. That's if you stand there and you empty it every, 2 hours, which, of course, no one's going to do. So I have two of these. They sit right next to each other in the kitchen. And if I have a party of four and we're all drinking iced tea or whatever, the ice keeps coming and we keep using it. And you add, about a gallon of water. I think it holds a gallon of water. And every 24 hours, you got to fill it up. So I have a gallon jug sitting right next to it so that we constantly refill these things. And it makes perfectly beautiful ice. And no tap water. These cubes look like diamonds. They're so clean and pure. Because of dust and stuff that can get into, you open, close. I have a scoop, so you don't have to get your hands in there. But about every month, on the first day of the month, I empty them out and spritz out the interior with smoking hot water. And I get 150-degree water coming out of my faucet on purpose, because I have that sucker turned up all the way. And so it sterilizes the inside and burns off any algae that might be thinking about saying hello. And that's the name of the game. So I just cleaned them up, because it's the first of the month. Actually, it's the third now. But on the first, I did it. I did one on the first, and I did one on the second. And today's the third. So I just used the ice today. But that's the back end, the back end of the device. March 2022. And here's the back of the other one. What's that say? May 2022. So this one was made 2 months. That's a M22B. Does this say B? That was May. Where's the other ones? Oh, here we go. They're close together. I might as well erase the sucker, because that gets me confused. There we go. May and March. Yeah. 22B. 22B. So they're the same model, just 2 months difference. March, April, May, yeah. I was wondering, I thought they were I bought one a year before the other one, but there's only 2 months difference in their manufacture date. I bought them from Home Depot, from their online department. Comes out of ships from Illinois or someplace. Here's a nice little. See that lever right in the middle? That's right smack in the middle. You push that forward with your thumb, and it folds in half. So you can, it's really a compact rifle. You got the optical sight. Does not come with it. That's $400 extra. The rifle is about $600, 400, about $1,000. And it runs with 9mm shells. So you basically have pistol ammunition. But because it's got a 16-inch barrel, 16.5-inch barrel, that pressure from the explosion in the shell stays in there behind the bullet for 16 inches through the barrel instead of 5 inches. So you got an extra 11 inches of barrel, and that extra 11 inches puts more velocity on the bullet. So the muzzle velocity is supersonic. It's about 1,300 feet per second at the muzzle. So it's got a threaded barrel, so if you have a suppressor, you can put it right on the front. If you can live long enough to get the suppressor. I'm running 11 months now on hold. I bought something 11 months ago, paid all of the money, and it's sitting there. It's sitting there in the gun shop here in town. They shipped it here, but he can't release it until I get the approval. And as of last week, I didn't have it approved. So I'm supposed to get an email. Well, let's try that. Silencer, Silencer. Silencer Company. Let's try this one, CS. All right. My approval. Six to 12 months. I wrote him a letter. I wrote Silencer manufacturer. He says, unfortunately, all the wrong ones asked about these questions. We are the wrong ones to ask about this question. We are simply a manufacturer and have nothing to do with the ATF paperwork or approvals. You can't see this. No reason. The ATF takes their time and averages 6 to 12 months. But it's not unheard of for it to take longer. Oh, Jesus. I may not live long enough to see this son of a bitch. No. You can contact the ATF and ask them. However, this is not a good idea because then they'll slow it down more. No, they didn't say that. But it is known to annoy them, and they can mark your submission as lowest priority. Oh my God, and then it could take 2 to 4 years. Oh shit. It's been 11 months. What's going on? That was my question. I asked this question, 2 weeks ago. It's been 11 months. What's going on with my silencer approval? Jim Wilson, thank you very much. And Triton S writes me back Monday. This is Friday. I didn't see this. It's got a star there. Jim, we received your inquiry, ticket number 22. The customer service rep will get in touch with you soon. 4-letter word, soon. If you want immediate attention, you can call this number. And then you can sit there and wait for the hold and all that stuff. All right. We received your inquiry. Here's the ticket number. They never answered me on the first one, on January 5th. But on the inquiry on February, they answered me on Monday. All right, well, 6 to 12 months. We're at 11 months, so. But if you aggravate them, it'll be 2 years. Oh, you bastards, I tell you, the federal government, fast at work. You know, they'd make more money if they hired more people, right? They hire a few more people and they can get through this, approval process. There it goes, out for delivery. Package is out for delivery at 9:47. Anyway, so that is my latest hot button issue. Looks good. All right, what do we got going here? This is the Tesla Model S or S or X. It's hard to tell because they've, with the newer models, they rotated the screen so it's this way instead of up and down. It's kind of built into the dashboard. It's very nice design on that. And then they have a little hump so you can see your vital statistics right below your line of vision, They don't have that in the Model Y, but they got it on the Model S. But you got to pay another $20,000 to get a Model S for the foo-foo stuff that's in there. I was under the understanding that for an extra couple $100, you could get this yoke steering wheel arrangement in the Model Y as an optional extra instead of the typical round wheel. That's pretty cool. I would definitely go for one of those. If you like flying an airplane, just keep it under 150 miles an hour, please. That's how they look. Pretty cool. And then we'll look over the shoulder and we can see he's going 190. That's not miles per hour. That's kilometers, 193 kilometers per hour. And you can see the battery and you can see the tire pressure on all four wheels. I don't know why you'd have that in the middle, but that's what he's got. And there's a picture of the route. And if we come over here on the screen, we can see this triangle, is the car. And the map moves, Ooh, and this is a little abbreviated version of the map, I believe. It's hard to determine what's going on there with that piece of the map. Anyway, that's the software. Yep. Coming around the turn, getting ready to come around the turn. This is the 3 cameras. Left camera, right camera, rear camera. That's the windshield's the front camera. But you got the 3 cameras. That's like the edge of the license plate right there, that dark little corner. I have a button just like this so you can see all 3 views simultaneously. And I believe you can have that. You can be driving with that. You got all this stuff that's pretty busy. But I'd rather look at the right side camera or the left side camera than look over your shoulder or look through the mirror. So you look at this little square. You can bring these squares up, so you can have both of these on the top and the rear, on the bottom, which I would prefer. That's what I do. Software-wise, you can just touch that This guy right here, you just put your finger on it and move it up. Same thing with this. When the car is not moving, you have the ability to make that little switcheroo-ski. And you can also move the map over to this side and have the cameras on that side, which I'd prefer to do that actually too. Because this camera view gets real busy, you know, when it's right in front of your face. So I'd rather have the map thing over here and have this stuff over there. And you have the ability to make those little adjustments, which is pretty nice. You know, it's a complicated software package. There's the goggles again. They even got the goggles outlined on the building, on the glass. And then, you know, in Manhattan, they had this big glass cube. It's a bunch of glass panels, you know, attached with these clips. You can see the clips all the way around. And here's the edge of the cube coming out at us. And up here is the top of the cube. And there's the front door that enters the building. And they put this outline here to outline the goggles, trying to brainwash us. That's a little photo editing to try to amplify the effect of the goggles. Okay. And this is my happy face, the cat says. Let me in, goddammit, it's cold out here. I mentioned the word Mancoon this morning, and Marilyn didn't frowny face me. She actually had a smile on her face. I threw a few Mancoon pictures at them just to get the ball rolling. So where's the Mancoon here? Maine Coon. It's not Mancoon, it's Maine Coon. It's actually the state cat of Maine. I found a place in Kansas, quite frankly, that breeds these cats. And for $700, you can have one of your very own. A 10-week-old little beauty. And if, you know, look at the size of that cat. That'd be a cat. It's about, you know, twice the size. I mean, look at it. It looks like a freaking lion. I want one of those. No, I already have 2 cats. So this would not be the 3rd one. This would be when the other 2 decide to go in heaven. Then I'm going for one of these. Look how big that head is. As big as the lady. Now that's a big head. And I want to get a harness. I want to put a harness on it when it's really young. So I can walk it around the apartment. And when it gets a little bigger, I walk it around the building and create a little excitement. That's one way to, you know, sand down the nails, is to walk on the concrete sidewalks. And with a cat, it's like clawing its way in front of me. And pull the nails, you know, take the sharp edge off those nails. Because if you look at this guy, we just zero in on him. A little more zero. Look at that. I kind of got a picture of the nail. Look at this. Oh my God. Those, and they're, yeah, so you gotta clip the nails, and you have to clip the nails often. There you go. I didn't order one. Her name was Olivia, the cat. See right there? It looked just like that one on the left. And so $820. They deliver to your door. It requires, I believe, an air package, air flight. And it's $700 for the cat and a $120 delivery fee, which I imagine, I don't know this for a fact, because I don't want to get the cat and make my own nuts. We had a third cat and it died, so we're gonna leave well enough alone. And but that'd be pretty cool to have a big cat. They're domesticated. It's not a wild animal cat. This company in Kansas, right in the middle of the country, breeds these things. And they have like 10 or 12 of them available at all times. There were like 5 of them. Well, this is a 10-week, these are 10-week-old cats. 9, 10 weeks, something like that. But you see the ears are straight up like that. Big fluffy. I'd take that black one. The problem is at nighttime, all you see is these big eyes. I'd take a white one. Then you can see that little sucker moving around. Black ones, yeah, this doesn't matter. This color right here would be nice too. It looks like a leopard. No, what do you call it? There's a leopard with the spots. Look at the size of this guy. He's right up on top of that table. He doesn't have to jump up to the table. He can just stand up at the table. And here's a picture of this cat with her holding the cat. And when she puts him down, he leans out and steps right up to, he must talk on the phone, I guess. I don't know. They're big cats. Anyway, that would be fun. We'd have to figure out how to see if my super duper pooper works in there. So if they happen to have a short-haired one of these cats, I'm pretty sure we'd be good with the super duper pooper. I had this robotic litter thing, and I'm wondering if it would be a work with the Maine Coon. I mean, the Maine Coon is about 25 pounds, but it's real fluffy hair. So how does that work with the machine? Maybe you just have to spray it down the inside, keep the hole. It's like a globe that rotates, and I think the cat would fit in the globe. But if the globe wasn't clean, it would rub off on the coat, and that could be a mess. We don't want a mess. All right, so I'll keep you posted on the Maine Coon thing. I got an email back. They said, we got Olivia. Olivia is available. That was the name of the cat. Olivia, really? Yep. Let us know. It's $700, $200 deposit, and we'll arrange delivery. So I'll have to go back to that email and see if they've said, oh, Jimmy, are you still there? I asked them if it would fit in the RoboPoop. Well, when the cat is smaller, it probably takes a year to get big, a year and a half. So when you got a cat that lives 13, 14 years and fluffs out a little bit, would it still be able to use that litter box that rotates? That would be key. Because to have a litter box, a big litter box, and then you got to scoop it out, twice a day. With this litter robot, it rotates and automatically sifts out the poops, puts it in a thing underneath. So we'll do a little research on that. See if I can talk litter robot into making a bigger machine. All right, it's 1 hour and 5 minutes and 49 seconds. And I think we'll hang it up and You know, we've been live here, and nobody's dropped off. It's simulcast. I got a thumbs up already from somebody. Maybe they got a Maine Coon. Write me. Send me a text. 561-416-1100. Send me a text. Let me know all about those Maine Coons out there and how you deal with the litter. I live in an apartment, so I can't let it out and run around the ground. But I'm willing to take it out for a walk, which I don't know if that would work with a cat. You know, they like to roam around without a lot of company. Anyway, this is being simulcast by 3 different networks at the same time. Social networks, of course. And it's Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and Twitter Live, also known as X, which Mr. Elon Musk owns for 50-something billion. He paid 46 billion, 50 billion. That's a lot of your network tied up in a social network. But he yanked out several members of the FBI that were on staff and several members that were in the Justice Department. I think there were 3 or 4 people in the management team that was in Twitter. And they're snuffing out conservative speech. Just blocking it out of the Twitter space. That's pretty bad. So that's why I bought it, to rip all that out so he could have more free speech instead of just democratic free speech. All right, on that happy note, I'm going to let you listen to about 15-20 seconds of my royalty-free music, Epidemic Sound, instrumental.